Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? What? Andre, you don't draw. You don't draw anything. You don't even do anything with your life. Just kidding. Uh, Jesus. This is a different video that I am doing. I'm gonna try to start doing a series of more drawing videos of my original shit, because I mean, it's my gaming channel, but I can make it whatever the fuck I want it to be, because I own it. It's mine. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Need some water. And then after this, I'll just go in, because what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to draw portraits for each character that is in my main story, and maybe when they're all done, I'll just do a little verbal slideshow of them talking about like what each character is like, what their role is in the story. There a lot of their powers. Okay, so a lot of what I draw is just mostly superheroes in this universe I created. Because like the concept is these are superheroes, not really superheroes. They're kind of like soul mutants. Soul mutants is a better name than alters. Like, okay, you have these characters who have had their souls exposed to them, and the thing is, every character who has had this happen to them can flip between their what I'm choosing to call their super alters, which is like their sense of morality, which is not always good. So someone's super ego can also be like quote unquote evil, or do things that are selfish because it benefits them, or they'll have an id ego or id alter, which is based off the id and super ego. One is just like the drives and desires and like basic instinct things that the personality has, which is their id. And then I need to go into more detail about what the super ego is, because it's like the id is easy. It's just their survival instincts. But for my universe, it's what like drives their desire. It's their wants. It's their thing. There's a form based on their creative self, and the other one is the super ego is based on their critical self, which is usually critical on them. So okay, the id alter is just their creative form. The super ego form is their more critical, like, self version of them. It's the visual form of their of the super alter is how they see themselves, and the id alter is like what they want to be, more like. So this is Kendall. She's the supporting character in the first act of Alters. I have the cover made like a long time ago, like last year or so. Hold the phone. Okay. I have to show you the second version because I forgot a character. Alright, so this is Alters. Alters. This is the main cast that you see in Act 1. This is your boy. This is like my super ego, quote unquote. It's a self-insert. Fuck off. I don't know. It's not literally me, but it has my name. This is what I used to wear in like 2011. Like I still have it actually. This like nice ass. It's a nice jacket. It's really sturdy and thick. It just doesn't. It's not as long as I'd like it to be, and I really need to shed some weight so I can fit into it better. like it's really tight when I zip it, but it's my favorite jacket. I wish I wear it a lot in high school and like senior year, but I feel like I'm just growing out of it. And I had a lightning shirt that kind of looked like this. It was my favorite shirt, and then it became too tight. I used to have these really cool like denim cargo shorts that kind of look like this. I don't have it anymore because they ripped. They're like baggy. They were sick. So that's just my aesthetic. Big thick jacket and shorts. The pointed shoes, I don't know. I just like the idea of pointed shoes. Okay, so the person I'm drawing right now is Kendall. This is before anything happens to her in the main story of Alters. She is the sister of this person, Wendy. Those two have a larger role towards the end because yeah, I'll talk about it later. But throughout the story, she's like a volunteer at a place that I'm basing off of the San Diego Balboa Park. She's a volunteer at like a botanist flower area, and I don't know if they even do that or intern or something, but her interest is botany, and she likes taking care of things. She's going to school to like be a studying botany. uh I try to give some of these characters like basic roles in society, but what I feel like will make them interesting is them being thrust into these like larger than life situations, like fighting demigods and going into metaphysical realms and doing shit. A lot of these characters do that kind of thing. That's the big reveal, is that in Alter, not only are they able to manifest their thoughts into physical forms, or like their thoughts of themselves into physical forms, like the id and Alter, super Alter, but they can all survive being put in metaphysical realms. Like, let's say you have a villain who locks people in like nightmares and shit. They will be able to control themselves and hold their own. Meanwhile, like a mortal or a human would be like, oh, I'm trapped in some of mine, I can never get out, because I can't do anything. Or like these characters, or someone who is an Alter would be able to escape something like the Null Void from Ben 10 or the Negative Zone from Superman. They would find a way out somehow based on their powers. So Kendall, this is like her casual form. Maybe later down the line I'll draw like the casual state before they're all alters, because I think everyone needs to see those. But aside from the two characters down here, everybody else is in their id form, because this character is like the catalyst of the story. She goes through some dark stuff. She's feeling like problems at home with her family. She's like becoming distant and like kind of a little bit estranged, and she's taking it out on the world, and she doesn't like the I guess I could say that like it's a reference to like my transition to the adult world, where a lot of my family went like separate ways. After college, everyone I knew in high school kind of went their separate ways, and around the time I went to college, like 2011, 12, everyone I knew just like stopped being next to each other, like they were going to different cities and doing different things. And this character is just kind of by herself, and in her moment of vulnerability, she finds this Rose here who tells her to gather up like some other people like her. And there's another arc called Alter Zero, or in 10 and like next to each other, like a side by side storytelling way, it would be an origin story of her, of Wendy, and how she gathered all these guys. And this plant Rose here is actually a otherworldly monster who takes advantage of them, turns them in, gives them access to their id alters, but also they're under my control. And when my character quote unquote dies, I get brought back by this guy who's the Dead King. I redesigned him a little bit. He didn't have this his hood going over his face. I made his face more snake like because I am equating it to like death. I always associated, I like the idea of a snake being a symbol for death because it's like it's swift when they bite you, but it's also dragged out with the venom, but you're just dead. I don't know, I associate it with that. But he uses my character as just like a champion, quote unquote, to go fight them all, because what this plant monster is doing is tampering with like mortal laws by making regular people into like gods. Not even gods, just like too much power. So he's like, hey, you're interfering with the cosmos, man, so I gotta bring someone in to take you down, which is my character. So yeah, it's kind of like Mega Man. Kind of like Mega Man. Anyway, Kendall gets brought into all this shit because she wants to know what's going on with her sister. And I don't remember how these two met. I don't. But also their dynamic, Wendy and Kendall's thing, is kind of like a parallel to my and my brother's relationship. Because these two, you know, as they say, art reflects reality. Also, if I take something that is actually happened to me, it's going to be more believable. So these two characters are becoming a little bit estranged from each other and distant. She's the younger sister. She's just concerned, but the older sister is just going around doing her own thing. They have a falling out with their mom, and that's when she decides to like not run away, but just like go on a personal journey of hers. And that's when this plant monster picks up on it. It's like, hey, that character is an easy target for me. Don't mind if I do swoop in and get her to do my shit. Because plant monster wants to corrupt as many people as he can because he's a jerk, and he represents the evil side of nature in my definition of nature. Just like anything in the world, anything with like thought. He plants seeds of doubt. He's responsible over time for like seeds of doubt in people, causing like wars over resources, dating all the way back to like, I don't know, fucking 1400s. And yeah, I feel like he has to be representative of something for him to be like interesting, not just like I want to take over the world, blah. If I'm going to at least have one villain that does that, I'd rather it be something like this. They're not just fighting a big evil guy, they're fighting a concept. And the tragedy is like, even if when I guess I'm saying too much, but it doesn't matter. I don't know if I remember it. I want to draw covers. I don't know if I'm gonna take so much time to do a bunch of pages, but like, he wants to God. He wants to corrupt as many people as he can to prove to these two gods, look, given the opportunity, humans will always like be self-destructive and, you know, fight over stupid shit, and they're going to destroy themselves because they've been doing it. It's been happening. It's still happening. Like, we're never gonna come together as a collective race of humans and be like, let's not have police brutality, and let's not wage wars over like resources. It sounds kind of hippie shit, but like, it is a harsh truth for now. Or like, there's not gonna be just a universal kind of care for each other, because I don't know, there just isn't. It kind of, in a way, the villain represents my like pessimism, so that's interesting. Anyway, drawing Kendall. Spoiler, or actually I already showed it, but like, this is her id alter. Nega Rose. Whoops, I need to put her logo over the thing. On all my pieces, I put like their theme song, because when I listen to a lot of music, and some of the songs from video games or otherwise, like power metal, techno music, whatever, there's some music that I associate with the character when I hear it, and it's like, well, that sounds like it would be their theme song. And It's a Sin by the Pet Shop Boys. It's kind of like her, I feel like, is her representative of her like blaming herself for why her sister is like going off. It's a sin. The lyrics are like, how does it go? It's like, I've always been the one to blame. It's a sin. Anything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever done, something blah 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 blah. It sounds like that, and I feel like that suits her personality. I feel like that suits this side of her personality. Yeah. Okay, so her design is based off being influenced by the plant monster. The plant monster's name is Botanabub. It's a reference to Beelzebub. Beels. It sounds like beetle, so he's usually associated with like pestilence. Lord of the Flies. It's like a fly monster or some shit. Botanabub. The root word is botanical, like flowers or flora, and Botanabub. It sounds dumb, but I haven't designed him yet, but I want him to look more menacing than his name suggests. Botanabub sounds kind of silly if you're asking me, but that's the name I want for him, so whatever. Yeah, she's like a rose with thorns, okay, so don't get too close, alright? Meanwhile, her quote-unquote good side, her super ego, is called Wildflower. This is her, oh shit. This is her, like, drawing or sketch that I made, like, in 2010 or 11. I drew this in, like, painting class. I drew this in painting class, and all of my old drawings of characters look like this. They're just like ink sketches, so they seem over designed now that I think about it. So what I've been doing is redrawing them, every single character, just to like cement a design for them in my mind in case I want to redraw them for something. Yeah, she's gonna be like the opposite of Nega Rose. Instead of like thorn vines coming out in a giant like rose, she's gonna have like just kind of tree branches coming out from the side of her jacket or her back or something, maybe. And maybe like water lilies, not water lilies, just like, I don't know, maybe just white roses over the design of her coat. And she has like a leaf necklace and shirts. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that. She has like half jean, half like pauldron, not pauldrons, like leg brace things that are gonna be like leaf themed. So I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of this video. And it's gonna be a time lapse kind of thing. So stay tuned.
It's time to hack the movies with Tony and Newt and Crystal.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Hack the Movies.
Real quick, I just want to talk about my method and how that's changed. Normally what I would have done is I would have taken the sketch here, taken this to Illustrator, live trace it, and then use like the paint bucket tool to fill it in Photoshop and color it that way, and that's it. Just like flat and do nothing. It's since I started redrawing my characters this way, or in a different way, I've gotten more confident with my tablet, my Wacom Intuos, and I'm actually translating the sketch from my brain onto the computer without doing that middleman step. It's not a bad idea, it's just I don't need to do it. I shouldn't have been doing it. I should have just tried to use the tablet more, but now I'm more confident. So my method now is I sketch it out here. I'll like use the lasso tool to take certain things and like I'll like move something around in case I don't like how it looks. This is just a rough, so this could be whatever, and I'll go over it in a separate layer with like the black paintbrush. Woo, look. And I'll resize things, I'll erase things. It's just a lot easier for me this way. And I can rotate her head like upside down if I want to. Yeah, it's just how I make the roughs now, and then I decrease the opacity, and I create a palette with them. So for the alters cast, I'll have like a central palette, like the common palette, the common colors that you would see, like their skin tone. Maybe their hair is the same color for both like sides, but then I'll have like a okay, it's not here anymore. Oh, here it is. I'll have like a separate palette for the colors that you would see on this version of the character. But I've never. What's gonna be interesting is I've never drawn Kendall's S altar in color, so I'm gonna have to pick colors as I go. So yeah, I just want to get that out really first.
Shoo-ba-dee, shoo-ba-dee, da shoo-ba-dee, shoo-ba-dee, shoo-doo-wah.
Okie doke. So that's it for this uh little illustration for this character. All I have to do now is save to web and put on the deb, and then by deb I mean probably Instagram. I don't know about DeviantArt. I haven't uploaded any of these little portraits to DeviantArt. I don't know why. I probably should, just to like for the exposure, but I don't think it's gonna get any attention there, because it's so hard to tag shit. I wish I was like had enough of a following so that I didn't have to tag shit so it would get found, especially on DeviantArt, because like nobody looks for something unless it's porn. All right, shots fired. So or unless it's like really those high detailed, like I work at a video game company where I design landscapes art. You don't see anything else other than that on the front page until you log in, where it shows you just all the dinky crap. Like mine. Not just kidding. Mine's cool. My art is cool and I'm sticking to it. But I'm gonna upload it in Instagram. And then I might do the next one, which is gonna be this character's sister, Wendy, her S altar. And then after that, there's last two more. Actually, I'm gonna probably try to do them on the same image and not like separate them. But there's one more character that's gonna be on the cover of the next like prequel arc thing, and then I'll draw that. So I'm gonna upload this picture to Instagram. It's gonna get like 3 likes, which is fine, even though I tagged the shit out of it. Like I said, sometimes things just don't get found, but it doesn't matter to me. I like putting it up there and looking at it every now and once, and then going to my Instagram gallery, because it feels good. You only do things in the world that make you feel good, like eating chicken wings and drinking Yoo-hoo.